Hello everyone and welcome back to Gran Turismo 7. Today we're going to get into the first of a couple of online videos I have recorded. I've been recording online races on and off since about the start of the year, and it's about time I started getting through these in terms of videos. So the first one is today, and yeah, we are doing 500 horsepower street cars is the category. So we've got a Ferrari F430, there's a couple of F50s back there, as well as a Toyota Celica as we get underway for this race at high speed ring. Decent acceleration for us, not so much in the top end though. That Ferrari F50 is absolutely rapid, so we're just going to leave the inside wide open for them, and you know, to see how this goes. This is one of the first online races I've ever done, which is why I picked a high speed ring, a nice easy circuit. Looks like we're not too bad in the top end. Full send down the inside, and we cannot pull that move off at all. And we had to make a big effort to make sure we didn't make contact there. We got away with it, but that Ferrari F50 is absolutely rapid. So is that Celica going for the move down the inside, and they run a bit wide. So let's see if we can switch it back through the S-bend and into the tunnel and get a nicer exit than the Celica. Not quite working for us, but we'll see what we can do throughout the rest of the lap. But yeah, this is a relatively short race, 5 laps of high speed ring. You're not going to take it too long to get through this one. The Toyota Celica's out against the wall. We're out against the wall, and oh, looks like the leader's had a bit of an issue through there. The Celica now takes the lead over the Ferrari F50. I don't know where the other Ferrari's gone. There behind us somewhere, not having a good... There they go. Goodness me. That is a crazy difference in straight line speed. Now we're down into the last position, and the Toyota Celica escapes into the distance. But yeah, we've got some very different dynamics here. Potentially on a different track my car might have a chance of keeping up, but here at high speed ring, these Ferraris are too quick in a straight line. There's a bit of a kerfuffle going on here though, because we're actually going to retake the lead here as everyone was stopped in the tunnel. Not sure why, exactly what happened there, but immediately the Celica, at the moment in front of us as they try to get back past, pushes us all the way almost into the pit lane, and we get away with it and we continue on forwards. Meanwhile, they're all still scrapping away behind, so that works in our favour, and we can now maintain the race lead, at least for a short time. No doubt they will be catching up, but yeah, I don't know what that Celica was doing. They had a big moment out of the final corner, but it doesn't take long for the Ferrari to catch up again. They get the move done, so it'll be second place for us at best in this one, unless they have any further issues into the tunnel once again on the third lap of the race. And yeah, at the moment we have a bit of a gap to the cars behind, and that actually stays. Actually, in fact, the gap gets larger. So I don't know, they were both definitely faster, but I think they were probably too busy crashing into each other to bother trying to catch up to me. So yeah, this worked out well for us, and yeah, we've come away with second place, and they still are yet to finish, such is the time they lost. So it's unfortunate for them, but P2 for our first attempt. Not so bad, and yeah, we now get going for the next race we do. This one is a different set of rules, but again, it's you know, more street car racing at high speed ring. We've got the Mazda RX-8 for this one, delivery based on Rick Shaw's Mazda. They regularly competes in the Bathurst 6-hour with, of course, changed it a little bit due to the limitations of the Gran Turismo livery editor, but anyway, we've got polyphony on the bonnet and such things, as you can see. But anyway, we get ready to go. I don't know why that little intro screen took so long, and what on earth is that thing on the right? That's not a racing car, that's a tractor. Goodness me. Anyway, let's see if we can beat the tractor. That'll be our goal for this race, as we literally have the sun itself in front of us now. That is one very shiny paint job. I'm curious what paint they used on that Suzuki Swift. That is absolutely insane. The reflections coming off that car. Goodness me. Anyway, we head now into turn 2, and looks like the tractor is having a little bit of trouble navigating that one as we get past the Alpine A110. Not having a good time so far in this race. We now see if we can make the move down the inside of the Suzuki. We're just going to be a little bit tentative through here. They're all running well wide of the apex, sort of going for I'll say a later apex, but they never really got to it. So yeah, we'll see how this goes as we try and just keep things nice and smooth. Decent exit there into the tunnel, and now the Suzuki Swift going for the move on the tractor, and they're going to run side by side for a little while longer. If they run side by side through this final corner, that could give us the opportunity. The tractor is struggling a little bit to turn left there through the final corner. Slight contact with the Suzuki as we had a graze with the wall. Now they had a bit of a lose out of the final corner as well. That might give us an opportunity as we hop into the slipstream of the tractor, heading down towards turn 1, and we're going to be flat out for a while, so the slipstream could really work for us. The tractor not bad in a straight line though, as we continue to slipstream, and now we're starting to feel the effects of it as we try to get the move done potentially into turn 2. Oh, come on, it even sounds like a tractor as we make the move down the inside, and that is job done. Not quite. The tractor way out against the barrier there, wall riding and carrying the speed through there. And yeah, I'm not sure if that was by intention or not, if they just completely missed the braking point, but either way they actually gained a lot of time out of that. We're way behind them now, so a little bit of a frustrating moment there, but we'll see if we can still beat them. I know we have a faster car. I'm pretty sure we are capable of faster lap times as we slide our way out into the barrier there, so that wasn't a great moment for us. But yeah, I think we can beat the tractor. We just need to, you know, not make any mistakes, and we should be able to close up. And also assuming they stop wall riding. They didn't through that final corner. It's 50-50 whether it's even worth it there. It depends on the car. I do know these things from experience in the past. But anyway, let's focus on the race at hand as we have once again caught up to the tractor, and they've left the inside line well open for us, but no way through because we're just not quite fast enough. Now into the final corner. Let's see if we can get a good run here. Tractor goes a little bit wide. We're trying to sneak it into the inside, pushing them on the exit. Now we'll draw alongside as we race our way towards the finish line, and to end the third lap and start the fourth and final. We're not quite as quick in this particular rev range. It sort of ebbs and flows along the straight as we duck into the slipstream. Feel the effects of that immediately as we're in the higher end of the rev range, which helps us go a little bit faster. As soon as we shift into the next gear, we sort of seem to lose out a little bit, but we just in general have more top end than that tractor, so yeah, it's not a huge issue. Meanwhile, we've actually made our way up into second position due to other drivers dropping out. This was a race of 6, it's now a race of 3, so we are actually not that far off the race lead now in this race. So that is pretty crazy that we've you know, we're going to manage to come away with second place again, as the tractor is well behind us now. I think they had an issue at exit turn 2, and they've dropped a ways back from us, so they're not going to be any kind of threat as we head through the final corner. A little bit more time and we might have been able to catch up to the race leader, maybe another lap or two, but in the end it's another fairly solid race for us. We race clean and come away with a decent position with second place here at High Speed Ring, and that is not bad at all. And yeah, the DNF race, a race of 7 cars actually at the start, there you go. But yeah, the Alpine dropping out. Actually didn't even know the Countach was even in this race, but yeah, those other two that dropped out, the Z3 and the Mustang, they were both in front of us as we were fighting away, and gave us a few free positions. So podiums for everyone here, and we take second place. So yeah, clean race bonus as well. Not that we get a lot of money for these online races. So we move on now to a different style of racing. Thought I would have a go at Daytona, still keeping it simple in terms of track choice, but in reality for this one, I had just bought the Lamborghini VGT. I noticed it was very, very quick in a straight line, so yeah, I thought I would give it a test in this race. These other guys driving the Plymouth Superbirds, a car I would like to be known for driving, but we'll get to that in a future video. We get a great start. The American had a little bit of trouble getting off the line, and in general we just have great acceleration in this car. So at this point I was thinking this race is going to be easy. We are absolutely flying. This car is so quick on the straights, and then look at that, the Superbird just straight past. That is insane straight line speed. We're not going slow, we're going 350 kilometers an hour, and they just drove past us like we were stopped at the traffic lights. Goodness me, I can't speak. Anyway, we move on towards the end of the race. We actually managing to hold on to second position. The other Superbird, the American one, not going quite as quickly, but you'll notice in the mirror at the top, it's starting to emerge right at the end of the race in the mirror, and they end up just 0.2 of a second behind us. So they were faster, but in the end just couldn't quite close that gap, and we hold on to second position. But it's the Aussie man in the Superbird who takes the win in that one. Another second place for us. It's a habit that we are starting to form through one way or another. We always manage to finish second. So yeah, that is it's the best and the worst. It's good consistency, bad because we just can't quite get a win. But anyway, decided to try something else new. I used to like a bit of NASCAR racing back in the day in Gran Turismo 6. So we're going to have a go at that in Gran Turismo 7, and this is Group 3 NASCAR, which I'll be honest, I'm not really sure how this is going to work, because you know, all these cars, despite the BOP being on for this event, they still have, you know, different acceleration and different top speeds. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. We've got the Supra for this one, as I kind of have to learn how this works, because it's very different to, you know, just circuit racing is NASCAR racing, and it's quite scrappy, I would say. I found this sort of racing, it was fun, but it was also quite frustrating at times, as you'll sort of see throughout, and it's something you need to get, you know, very good at to I think enjoy. Meanwhile, there's literally a bushfire starting in front of us with all those sparks. That is insane, the amount of sparking that's going along. But anyway, we'll see how this goes. The slipstream is the key in this format of racing. You can see there we actually just got bumped out of the slipstream as we were trying to forge our way forwards in this race. The sparks are just ridiculous. I know I just mentioned it, but I mean, look at that. That is just, it never stops, especially in the early laps. But anyway, we'll get a good run here actually. We're sitting sort of at the back at the moment, just sort of seeing what this looks like basically, and you know, see what everyone else is doing, and how this goes. But you know, the crazy thing is, we're at the back of the field basically. There's a couple of cars behind us, and we have the whole field in front of us within you know, no time at all. If we had clear track, we'd still be within slipstream range of the leader, and through everyone having a few little moments there, we've actually made our way up into third position now. So we've you know, through doing basically nothing, we've managed to find our way up some more positions, and now we've got a good run as we look to the outside. And here is where I realized my mistake, because we are sent two positions further back, because if you duck out of the slipstream, that amazing run you thought you had turns out to be not so amazing. You really need a teammate to work with in this kind of racing, to be able to to be able to keep up. You can't go on your own. You need to have another car to slipstream off or to be bump drafted by. So that's sort of what I'm starting to figure out at this moment. I'm actually dropping a fair way back, so I'm a little bit worried about losing the slipstream here as we're on lap 4 of the race, and we are still absolutely flying along purple to the second sector there, so nothing wrong with our outright pace when we're in the slipstream. I'm curious what the actual best car is. I've seen a lot of people are using the GT, and maybe that is a good car. I guess we'll see what types of cars continue to win these races. I did do a couple of these. We're slowly clawing our way back towards the field as once again everyone trying to start a bushfire in front of us in the middle of Daytona Speedway, and it's just ridiculous how much smoke and sparks are coming off the cars in this race. It's a little bit lag induced, I think. If I was racing with Australians, this probably wouldn't be quite as bad, but obviously connecting to the opposite side of the world has its limitations. But anyway, we couldn't quite keep up in the final couple of laps, but still P5, we had a fairly clean run, and I've learned a lot about how this style of racing works. We're exactly in the middle of the field, 4 cars in front, 4 cars behind. That's not so bad. We move on to the next attempt where this Ford decides to start orbiting us. I think we generated our own gravitational field there for a moment. Not really sure what happened there. But anyway, they ended up having a massive collision into the barriers, and they're down and out of contention now. And that elevated us into 4th in this particular race. Unfortunately though, this one has a little bit of a bad moment for us. You'll also notice we've switched into the GTR now. But I was in 2nd position, having a really great race actually. I was really enjoying this one, and I was trying to get to the inside of the Ford, trying again, and there was a car behind me repeatedly pushing me. Got a big run here, tried to get down the inside, and yeah, we kind of gave them the old pit maneuver there. In my defense, we had that run, and there was a car's width to the inside, and as we went for it, they just moved across slightly, which is sort of ultimately what triggered that. As in reaction, I had to turn a little bit sharper down onto the apron. I tried to find my way back on, because if you run down on that apron too long, you get in a bit of trouble. But yeah, that caused that bit of contact. So, I mean, it's my fault, but yeah, it does. It takes 2 to tango in some cases. I made a big mistake there too by pushing the car in front. In that situation, I probably could have gone for the move. Being so close to the end of the race was probably worth it, and in the end we dropped too far back after that nudge to be able to have another run at it. So that was it for race 2. On to race 3 now, and I've started to work it out, but the top 2, oh my goodness, the Ford charging through there. The top 2 have gotten away. The Fords, oh my goodness, the GT and the Mustang taking each other out there, and this is all kinds of chaos. So this is the kind of stuff you deal with in Group 3 NASCAR, and why it's it's fun, but you need to you can't take it too seriously. And I've never found any level of success in this kind of racing. It's just too random. But I suppose you can get good at it. We end up finishing P6 in that one. That was not one of my best. I did also try a few other cars, including the Lexus RCF GT3, and it was terrible. I actually had no chance at all of keeping up in this car. Even in the slipstream, it was just slow. So that was the last attempt I had. So yeah, that car was no good. I don't know what's wrong with it, but the top end just isn't there to compete for some reason. So yeah, that was fun. we now move on to the final race of the video, and this was a bit of everything kind of lobby. We've got the Peugeot L750, whatever it's called, Vision Gran Turismo thing in front of us. I've got a Super Formula car, and there's a Super GT car as well. There's a Nissan 2016 Super GT car behind us, and I believe there's also a Nissan Fairlady, just a regular old Nissan Fairlady. And yeah, oh great, the Peugeot's absolutely binned it there. That thing's actually very quick in a straight line, doesn't seem to quite have the cornering speed though, so that's allowed us to take the lead in this one, and this is probably my best chance at winning a race. There wasn't really too many rules going into this race, and I really do enjoy driving the Super Formula car at high speed ring. It's a good combination, very satisfying, especially turn 2. If you can nail that, that is one of the greatest car and corner combinations in the game, as you have to run right out close to the outside barrier. May not be taking that level of risk in this race because we do have the pace, so we don't need to push for every single tenth of a second in this one. But that said, the Peugeot catching up at the moment, and the Nissan Group 2 car, the GT500, also very quick. I'm very surprised actually that that thing can keep up with a Super Formula car, but potentially it could be the straight line speed. This thing does have a lot of downforce, so it does struggle, I guess, a little bit in terms of the straight line speed. The Peugeot, meanwhile, it can get close to us, as you can just saw, by the end of the main straight through turn 1 and the second straight. It's incredibly quick, but it just cannot keep up in the corners. So we move on to the beginning of lap 3 now. We're still maintaining the race lead, still looking back because that Peugeot is closing once again. It is just so unbelievably fast. I cannot stress that enough, how much faster that thing is in a straight line. But they've given us the bump this time. Instead of going for the move, they've given us a push. Don't know if that was intentional or not, but anyway, they go full send down the inside into the barrier. They swipe across at us, and they are now out of contention. We can carry so much more speed through the middle sector, and that was their last opportunity. They went full send, very desperately trying to go for that. They couldn't get it done. There's the Nissan Fairlady going a lap down. They swipe at us as well. So we've apparently made some enemies in this race for no reason, but regardless, that is not going to stop us as we head towards the finish line, and that is going to be our first race victory online in Gran Turismo 7. A little wiggle as we head towards the line. The Peugeot guy actually rage quit from the race. The Nissan R33 GTR, that was the other car in this race. I knew there was one more. They didn't really play any part in our race though, but good effort from the Nissan GT500 car. That thing is very quick. I was very surprised actually to see how close it was to us at the end, or to me, the Peugeot not making the finish. But anyway, that is going to do it for this one. So I'll say thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I really do appreciate it. Feel free to give me some feedback in the comments. It's always very helpful. And other than that, I will see you in the next one. And goodbye.